Today is the only yahrzeit, the day of fasting, that's mentioned in the Torah itself. We know when Moses passed away, we know the date. We know the date of Miriam's passing. We know the date of Rachel, our matriarch, passing. But the only one that's actually explicitly mentioned in the Torah is that of Aaron, the high priest, the brother of Moses and of Miriam. He passed away 3,294 years ago today, the first day of the month of Av. And it's mentioned in the Torah this week as a side note about the travels of the Jewish people. Who was Aaron? Who was Aaron the high priest? Our sages say, Hillel says, be like the disciples of Aaron. Be a disciple of Aaron. Ohev shalom. Love peace. Rodef shalom. Pursue peace. Ohev et hapriyot. Love the people. Umekarvan la Torah, and bring them close to the Torah. Aaron was a loving person. He went around and helped people become friends, make friends. If there was a disagreement, he would go around and try to help the parties come together. Our sages say a story that Aaron, the high priest, heard of a dispute, and he went over to the person and said, I hear that your friend, I know you have a dispute with them, but they really want to come together. They're just embarrassed to take the first step to make peace with you. You think you want to make peace with them? How about you come together? And the person said, look, if my friend wants to make peace with me, I'm willing to go ahead and come together. So Aaron quickly would run to the other person and say, I heard your other friend really wants to make peace with you. And when the people saw that Aaron, who was busy running the services in the temple, the brother of Moses, the prophet, is taking the time to really bring people together, they of course came together and he helped them out. And the same thing, he saw if couples were not in good terms, he would help them out, do some marriage counseling, family counseling, and so on. And this is the day of his passing. And it's interesting that it always comes out at the time of the 9 days, the most saddest days on the Jewish calendar, marking the destruction of a temple in Jerusalem. The two temples both were destroyed on the same day, the 9th of Av, and the month leading up to the 9 days leading up to the 9th of Av are days of mourning. We don't eat meat, we don't listen to music, we don't buy new clothing, and so on. And our sages tell us that the temple was destroyed because of baseless hatred between each other. We couldn't get along. Jewish people were having different arguments and discussions, and unfortunately it spiraled into destruction of a temple. So of course, this is a time to really be loving, extra loving to each other. Find someone who you haven't reached out to recently, specifically if they're Jewish. Sometimes it's harder to come together with someone who's Jewish. Be more extra loving to your family, to your friends, to your enemies. Find someone who could use another warm word. These are the days to rebuild the temple with loving kindness. Let us remember to be like Aaron. Shabbat Shalom.